Well, welcome back to Midnight Viewing. I'm your host, Father Malone, and here we are engaged in a years-long struggle to tackle Roald Dahl's Tales of the Unexpected. Who's we? Why, the projection booth's Mike White, of course.
Series of angry beeps.
Yeah, that's true. There, we are taking a look at Tales of the Unexpected, which ran for a whopping 9 series, topping out at 112 episodes spanning from March 24th, 1979 until May 13th, 1988. We are looking at episodes 3 and 4 of the series tonight. Those are William and Mary and Lamb to the Slaughter. William and Mary aired originally on April the 7th, 1979, written by Ronald Harwood from the short story by Roald Dahl, and directed by Donald McWhinney, starring Elaine Stritch, Marius Gehring, Frederick Farley, and Richard Hampton. This tells the tale of Mary, who will never miss her husband William, whose name may or may not be Dr. Hafar. Mike, what'd you think of this one?
As soon as I was getting ready to settle in and start to enjoy the story, the episode was over. And I was like, wait, no, no, no. This is just starting. This is the starting point of this episode. And then it just ended. So I don't know. This one was very oddly paced for me. I liked the idea of it, and I love a good comeuppance. So I kind of like this guy being tortured after his death. But yeah, I was like, okay, I'm ready now. Let's get going. I want to see all the mayhem. And then it just kind of ended. What'd you think of this one?
I thought as the episode began, or at least as the credits were rolling, that we have 112 episodes to do, and that number got really daunting for me. And I got really upset as the episode started unspooling, thinking that the quality might slip immediately and then we were doomed. And then I was in every way surprised at this episode. Because we've seen how many brains in jar episodes across all of them. They all do it. Sometimes the devil's involved. Sometimes people just trying to live forever. This was the first time I've seen a brain in a jar episode where it felt like a threat. It felt like a continuation of someone's control over their partner. And I thought that was a really interesting angle to take. And anytime we get to watch Elaine Stritch do anything is kind of fascinating. Just watching her watch people as they're trying to respond to her. She is so laser focused, man. It's unsettling. How many years ago was this filmed? And watching her bore holes into whoever she happens to be having a casual conversation is still startling. I agree with you. It did feel like, and suddenly the episode is over. But I might argue that that's a positive because we watched 22 minutes or 24-minute episodes of varying other series where we wanted to kill ourselves from moment one. I didn't feel like that with this. I was just watching the story unfold. So wherever I understand the pacing issue, but at least it held your interest and was entertaining until then.
Right. And yeah, it's a weird complaint to have because I could actually go for a lot more of this one. It's not like those ones where it's like, oh my God, 24 minutes has never felt so long. It kind of felt too short for me. And I just like the way that it's put together as far as, okay, we're introduced to our character. We get some flashbacks of the husband. We get taken in to see the doctor who's explaining the whole thing of the dog head. Oh my God. And I've
Oof.
seen that footage, like we did an episode for the projection booth on the brain that wouldn't die. So I was looking into a lot of those old educational videos and things. Oh my God. And yeah, I like how they keep building until we finally go into the room and we get the box. It's so different than anything I've ever seen because usually, like you said, it's a brain in a box, brain in a jar kind of thing. Here's a brain in a box. You don't see the brain, you don't see anything other than kind of this eyeball that's sitting on top of it. And I just like that it's not even a human voice, that it's just those beeps, and that those beeps are, you can't understand anything that he's saying, but you get the intent from it and just how upset he seems to be getting by watching his wife. And especially when she is, oh, well, my husband's here. Let's take him home. That was a really nice twist that she just wanted him home to basically torture him, which I I thought that was great. But I honestly, I could have gone for another hour of this.
Yeah, it does seem like the first chapter in a longer novel, definitely. And Dahl could have delivered that, I believe. Or
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
should, because this can be a fantastic springboard for it. When she walks into the room and sees the box and sees the eyepiece that is staring straight up, I thought, that is what you wanted. You wanted to transfer your consciousness so you would live forever. And this doctor has you staring at the ceiling, and he's totally cool with it. He doesn't see any harm in it at all. That you wouldn't be going completely mad by just staring at one ceiling tile forever, however long. That was going to be torture enough, but when she turned it around to well, I'm taking him home because you just told me he's alive. You don't have dominion over him yet. You can have the brain when it's dead. I thought that was great. And yet just that his rules were so fucking draconian. I get maybe not smoking in the house, but no television and keep my rose garden well trimmed. And what's hilarious is, yes, she is getting the house and £3,000, but who gives a fuck? It's not like some grand fortune. This wasn't like a night gallery sort of thing where it's like, you'll get $10 million in the entirety of my estate if you can last the night, which could be the threat. Even if she didn't get to take the brain home to torture him, she could have just said, well, fuck all this, and gone and still lived a pretty good life.
Yeah, exactly. I do the little touch of we fitted the eyepiece with the same lens of his glasses so he can see perfectly. I thought that was a nice little touch there. And yeah, just that whole thing of I want to control everything, even though I'm dead. Technically, I want to tell you how you're going to live your life. And I just really like that she's, yeah, I don't think so. I really don't think that's going to be the case anymore. So yeah, this one almost got some applause from my wife when she was watching it. Just like, oh yeah, she made sure that he got what was coming to him. But yeah, I mean, I could do if it were me, I'd probably be turning that volume knob way the hell down. But otherwise, yeah, I just love the fact of her there smoking right in front of it. And yeah, I'm gonna go out and have a good time, probably get laid. I was just like, great, you go, girl.
I wish she had constructed some sort of like Pepper's Ghost like box with mirrors so that he could see around the room better instead of her just
Yes.
like leaning in and smoking, or at least turn him on his side so he can watch television ad nauseum endlessly.
Just put on Benny Hill 24 hours a day.
Oh Lord! All right, still winners here so far, which brings us to Lamb to the Slaughter. Now, this one aired originally on April the 14th, 1979, written by Robin Chapman from a story by Roald Dahl. This one was directed by John Davies, starring Michael Byrne, Brian Blessed, and Susan George. This is one of the most famous locked door mysteries of the 20th century, and it's getting another film treatment here, having previously been adapted on Alfred Hitchcock Presents back in 1958. That adaptation, written by Roald Dahl. Mike, what'd you think of this one?
What's kind of funny, I mentioned in the last episode that there's this relatively recent podcast called The Secret World of Roald Dahl. And I was talking with Aaron Tracy, the host of it, and I'm just like, yeah, I love that Dahl wrote one of the critical stories, this story that has taken on a life of its own and has moved past him, and other people have adapted it. And I was talking about Man from the South, and he's just, oh yeah, Lamb to the Slaughter. It's such a great story. I was like, yeah, I guess there is that one too. It was great to see this. And I was so excited when I saw Brian Bliss's name come up on screen. And I think Susan George does a wonderful job, especially that she has to act the way that she acts. And I think that she does a really good job of it. And I just, yeah, I really had a lot of fun with this one. It is a classic story, and I do love the twist at the end. And yeah, it just makes me happy because I love a good story where somebody gets away with it. And just that seems like this is kind of the way that we're going with some of these stories on this show. Is it's not necessarily some sort of supernatural comeuppance. It's much more the scales are balanced because they should be. It's more of a karmic retribution.
This feels more and more like the series, the series that Rod Serling wanted Night Gallery to be.
Yeah.
You want shades of the darkness, but not on something clambering out of the crypt each week. More like this type of mind bender. And could not agree with you more about Susan George. Her character, the entire performance is predicated on not believing that she did this thing. And as she's given every time she's given a piece of information, she looks like her world is ending. Like she's hearing it for the first time and she can't believe what she's hearing. And then she has to come back to herself. It's actually a remarkable performance.
Oh,
And
yeah.
even that, like, for the first part of the episode, she's blubbering so hard, and Brian Blessed is being so Brian Blessed that I was like, I can't understand anything anyone is saying here. But once they settled in, I really enjoyed it. The other thing I'm really enjoying, and I forgot to mention in the last episode, is Roald Dahl, his introductions here. In this particular one, he nearly breaks his own back trying to pick up the fucking name he dropped. Oh, I just happen to be having a good friend Ian Fleming, the James Bond guy.
Yeah, they were in MI5 or whatever together. So, yeah, can you imagine those conversations?
I can only imagine. In the previous one, William and Mary, Dahl came on and said basically that his stories aren't sort of trivial horror because he banishes the horror with laughter. He banishes the bitterness of horror with laughter. I think it makes it so much worse, right? I think it makes it so much meaner.
Oh, yeah.
This story is no exception. I think I first heard about this story before I'd even seen it. I might have read about it in Stephen King's nonfiction book Dance Macabre as some sort of example of like how you do a locked door mystery correctly. And I think, no pun intended, but it still has bite. This story, and I'm shocked it's one of those we haven't seen more of. I totally agree with you. If you were to say to me, "What's the Roald Dahl short story that's had the most impact?" It's definitely Man from the South. It's so fucking oddball, but this is just as well known, and this has the other one at least was adapted 2 or 3 times, so every generation got a chance to see it. So that this one is stuck around in people's minds is kind of interesting to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that the performances sell this so well. I like the filmmaking. I think that they bring in the flashbacks at the right time just to kind of keep this story moving and start to reveal more about these characters at the exact right time. And yeah, just this whole idea of the cops sitting around basically eating the evidence. It could go farther and have a cannibalism angle some don't do that. I'm glad that it's just that leg of lamb that and yeah, like I said, I was just so happy to see Brian Blessed and just the sonorous tone of his voice is always so pleasant. And yeah, it was funny because I was just like, oh, Brian Blessed's in this. And my wife's, who is that? And I was just like, the leader of the Hawkmen. And I just started doing all the lines. She's, oh, okay. Yeah, I know you like that guy a lot.
Yeah, I'm finding that Voltan is much like the Three Stooges when it comes to the gender divide. Okay, we get it. You like that big bombastic guy. The other
Oh, yeah.
actor in this is her husband, who the murder victim, Michael Byrne, who was Vogel in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. He was the one. He was the tank commander. And
Oh, yeah.
chasing him through the North African desert. And what was the other thing? Oh, he's in Braveheart as well. He plays a fucking stuck-up English lord in that as well. I think he's still working, actually, so good for him and good for us.
Yeah. And Susan George, am I right in thinking? Because I know for sure she was in Straw Dogs. Was she also in Dirty Mary Crazy Larry or
Yeah.
Crazy Dirty? Yeah. She was
Yes,
Dirty
he
Mary, right?
was. That's
Okay. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
And those are like
Which,
the
like,
only things I can think of are the things you just named.
oh, and no accent in that at all. I never
None.
caught that she was British. Yeah.
And the fact that they use so many Americans here just makes me think that she might have been American, but no. But man,
Yeah. I'm wondering if maybe she was pregnant or something during this because she's a little heavier than I'm used to seeing her. Not saying anything bad about her. It's just also I noticed that the clothes that she's wearing are really overflowing. So I was like, oh, I wonder if her body was changing at this point.
I would tend to agree with that because hadn't had the thought, but I did notice that she was in a lot of sack clothing, and that's unusual for this type of series to do. I could understand it when the body is found; it actually gives credence to her story, but flashbacks and stuff, it was the same sort of thing. So she may have been.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, more power to her. I think that's great. But I also kind of like the whole idea of like she's not, even though she as a person, even like looking at a picture of her from 2025, very, very attractive lady. But this character really shouldn't be some sort of sex pot. So even if she wasn't pregnant, putting her in more dowdy clothes is definitely the right way to go because he is seeing this other woman. And it's, you're stepping out on Susan George. Are you fucking crazy? But it's, well, you're stepping out on Susan George, who's wearing the big shapeless outfit. I'm like, oh, I still can't see it, but okay.
Susan George, who's given up on life, let's say.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one thing to see her for 24 minutes in a thing. It would be another to live with somebody who'd given up, I guess.
Right.
Nevertheless, I do think that the episode is extremely well directed, John Davies, even though we do spend a little time switching between the dreaded videotape and the film stock. I think he at least accomplishes some interesting transitions and stuff. And I thought overall, just a really solid fucking episode, man. Like, and the fact that we knew what it was. I mean, it starts and like, here we go. We're just going to have 24 minutes of this. It's not that there's any surprises here.
No, and again, I talked in the last one where I was like, oh, I really wish this would have gone on. This one is so perfect that it just comes in, tells this little story, takes us through the flashbacks, the present, and then into the dinner scene, and off we go. I just thought that this was such an economical storytelling.
That's exactly what we're looking for. That's economy of storytelling with a good fucking bite that resonates beyond the initial shock. I guess that's going to do it. All right. On the next episode of Midnight Viewing, we're taking a look at the next two episodes of Tales of the Unexpected. Those are episodes 5 and 6, The Landlady and Neck. Until then, where can people find you when they're looking for you, Mr. Mike White?
Well, pretty much everything I do is available over at weirdingwaymedia.com, which includes the projection booth, the Shabby Detective, and a few other shows that I work on. How about yourself?
Check me out here on Midnight Viewing. We do it twice a week. We do it every Monday. We're doing it here, talking about Tales of the Unexpected, or HP and I are talking about Von Doomfest as we count down to Doomsday in the MCU. Or every Friday we have Father Malone's Weekly Roundup, where I look at the more contemporary things that are happening and such and such. Until next time, everyone, try to enjoy the daylight.